came to conclusion that actually some of the topics that we try to understand as people living in nuclear families in 2026 in America and trying to balance between, how to say, burnout probably, and happy life, and happy life, and at the same time having very much like this need to have beautiful relationships as well as tendencies towards spirituality and so on. So we were trying to understand these topics from the perspective of women, and we came to conclusion also that sometimes when you try to use your mind and to try to unwrap things and topics, what happens is that the mind gets heavier and heavier, and you actually, by using your intelligence, really can get really pessimistic and depressed. Because the more, people say that, only fools and children are happy because they don't understand something. Then the middle part, the people who are a little bit more intelligent and they see the reality for what it is, more experienced, they are a little more pessimistic. And again, the people who are already like spiritually evolved, they become happy again. But in the middle,
or
that's
older people become happy if they have dementia, so they forgot a lot of things. So they also become happy.
So to be somewhere in the middle where you kind of a little bit critical, you have a critical thinking, you don't take everything what's sold to you for the face value, you try to see the essence, and that can really kind of put you off, make you depressed. So we were trying to
be positive,
but not only that, but on the other hand, toxic positivity is really a problem too, because you kind of just bypassing the whole idea of human life to learn the lessons. So we are trying to maybe today to have this podcast about how to balance the need for experiencing all sorts of emotions and thoughts which are not so positive, but in the same time counteract and balance it with something positive, so that you don't become depressed and demotivated completely. And we came to conclusion, after all the work and healing and mental engagements with situations that we were talking about, we still want to be positively engaged so that the actual healing can take place. So that is kind of an introduction of our today's topic. So basically, I do believe that bypassing your negative emotions and your negative experiences in life is avoidance. And avoidance is just, it's temporary. It's like putting plaster on the infected wound. At the same time, if you really face your negative emotions, your negative experience, the things that may hurt your heart and your broken heart and whatever it is, grief, you might never come out of it. And so I feel like you have to become really strong person to be able to face the reality and the painful part of life, while at the same time not giving into it. So our suggestion and our mental speculation came to conclusion that for people to really live a balanced life, they need to be and try to be positively engaged according to their nature. So I'll give a little bit opportunity for Juliana to reflect on it, or to be positive and to reflect on this kind of topic.
Yes, so I'm trying to be positive. I'm positively gonna engage myself in this topic. And I was just thinking, it came to my mind that, again, I'm gonna say it. So there is no darkness. So first it goes darkness, then the sun comes up, then we are happy to see sun, because it was some period of darkness where we was sleeping, not sleeping, we were feeling our feelings, doing something in the darkness. But then when the sun came up, we are so happy. It's a new beginning, new life, new experience. And then the sun moves, and it's become hot, and it's become unbearable heat. And then we're thinking, that's too much. When is it gonna be already evening? When is it gonna be relief? This heat, this intensity, this workaholism,
exposure.
achievement. When is the rest time and recovery? When is the already time to get in bed and rest? Right?
Yeah.
So then the sun goes down, and we are relieved. So we can stop our work. We can just crawl in our bed. We can maybe take a shower, and we can maybe have nice hugs with family members and nice evening relaxing family time, if possible, positive. So what it reminds me about, conclusion is conclusion, yeah, but I think from other side, if looking at our conclusion, we need this period of sadness and pessimism. We need it, because from this grows optimism. And if person always optimistic, or again like walking with a plastering their stuff, not really exploring and swimming in it, it's not possible to really be positive and happy. It's like once you do what you don't want, you will never understand that you don't want it. So you have to kind of experience opposite side to really understand, okay, I do not like it, that doesn't bring me joy, I'm gonna do this. Oh, this one is bring me joy, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
But you have to see the other side. So maybe children are happy most of the time except tantrums.
Yeah.
And the same as dementia people, probably, like jokes aside, they are more easygoing, but they have this other side of aggression, I heard. Anyway, it's different topic. But the thing is, to be adult is to be happy. I think we need to accept that we can be realistically happy 50% of the time, like day and night, at least.
More or less. You know, like yesterday, for example, I did an experiment with my children, of course, and I think it's a very good example of how if you try to be positively engaged, everything can become a little lighter and brighter. It's not even about being happy all the time. It's just about that heavy feeling that your mind can bring if the mind is a little bit pessimistic and depressed. And so yesterday was one of the 97th day of summer where I was taking care of my kids.
Are you like counting?
Yeah, it's a challenge or something, you know. I'm joking.
Summers,
97
I'm
days
into
of summer.
90 days of challenge of sticking to something one.
So basically they were, and I was thinking, okay, let's try this thing, because otherwise they start engaging themselves. If I don't engage them, they're engaging themselves. And they're engaging themselves according to their level of capacity of self-engagement, which is usually fighting, jumping on the bed and accidentally hurting themselves and hurting everybody else around and knocking some walls off. So I started to having plan for them. I made the stickers on my fridge where they can put what they did over the day. They can check out some of the chores that they did, and then later we were singing with my daughter. I was asking her to sing the song for me, and then I was doing the same with my son, and for many hours I was engaging them positively. Like so all this time while I was actively positively engaging them, there were no tantrums, nobody was fighting with each other, nobody was screaming, nobody was having tantrums. Everybody was surprised and in a state of wonder, like what's gonna happen next. So I'm thinking, okay, if we train kids like this from the young age to be positively engaged, we can actually also as adults train ourselves to be positively engaged and have a plan for ourselves.
This kind of like, oh my god, Ruru, this
and
is
then it's getting
this is
lighter.
Called, you know, in Turkey it would called animator.
Animator,
they
yes.
pay special person to engage children a day. But listen, they start making these camps for adults where there is an adult engage. For example, there is a women's camp adult where they do zip lining, crafts and stuff. So they engage positively. Oh my God, this is genius.
And then I was thinking,
but we need to be engager of ourselves.
We have to, So when you, but I'm reflecting on myself. Actually, I was trying to engage positively myself all the time because I'm an artist, of course. And then if I feel that something is coming up emotionally, or some events are taking place that are not very favorable to my pleasure-seeking positivity, I try to engage myself positively in art. And I feel like art is one of the places where you can heal without going too deep with your mind into this like uncanny, unattractive place of depression. And also it kind of takes the relief. Even Carl Jung, believed that the shadows that we have in ourselves, they very nicely worked on while doing art. And I'm thinking, there's a lot of times when there are groups of people who are organizing some healing sessions, which for me personally, I cannot attend a group of healing sessions because I don't want to overshare with people I don't trust and they are not my friends. So, but then I'm thinking, okay, I cannot do one-on-one also because that's not the practice. People were trying to make some money, so that's why they get the group, or group is helping to reflect on each other or something like that. But it's not my thing, basically. I don't want to be engaged in oversharing. So my opinion is that I always engage myself in healing without understanding it consciously by doing a lot of art. And my jewelry teacher used to say that if something painful happens in your life, you have to create something beautiful to balance it out. And so he was an artist in his soul. So he had tragic life. He had 2 wives who died, but he was always living with this mantra in his head that he's now, if it's painful, has to counteract the pain with creating something beautiful. So he was also engaging himself in a positive way through art. And I feel like some of the events in my life led me to that kind of seeking to be engaged positively, because I really, as majority of people, I don't want to be depressed. I don't want my children to have a depressed parent. I don't want to have heavy thoughts. But of course they come up because life is not only white or black, it's many different shades. But then to deal with it and to look at
many different shades of
green
that's
and
a good book.
many different shades of life, and
50 Shades of Life.
50 also. And then to be constantly self-managing and self-parenting to positive reinforcement, I do believe can make your life a little lighter. And a lighter mind can attract, there is this science. What is it?
Opposite, which is heavy mind.
No. How is it called? This law of attraction. If your mind is heavy, you're gonna attract more of that depression and so on.
Wait, but what about opposites attract?
Yeah, maybe to mirror. But anyway, that's my idea. But I do think that to be positively engaged, you need the right people. So we spoke with Luliana about trying to find your people.
How about you be my animator? I'll be your animator.
You can animate each other. Yeah, because
make it alive.
Yeah, and you don't need many people. You can have 1 friend or 2 friends and animate each other into positive engagement.
That's what.
But the problem is that sometimes we seek the positive engagement in the wrong places with the wrong people. For example, all these groups that are so popular, dancing, singing, religious groups for, what is it called? Whatever the group is. It is for people are trying to find how they can positively engage themselves. But sometimes my personal experience is I go to this group with a bunch of strangers who I have seen for 4 years and they never said hello to me or even smiled, and now I'm trying to positively engage myself in an awkward situation, and it's like it's awkward. It's not. There is like receiving and giving breadcrumbs and shallow level. So I do think that to be positively engaged, you can do it yourself, but it's nice when you can do it with a like-minded person who is not only giving you breadcrumbs and who you are not like manufacturing friendship with or manufacturing healing with. You know,
Ruru, I think here the problem is not a problem, it's how person grew up and what is etiquette. And etiquette is basically how you interact with other human being, because there is an instant interaction where people go through, like cutting the lane and walking in and out of temple or something. It's and there is a European classical hello, welcome, gentleman,
how do
lady
you do
opening the door, closing the door in front of lady. It's also this, because
cultural conditioning. So, for
because
example,
culture is not just like word of something. Culture is how people interact with each other, how they make each other welcome, how they greet each other, how they say bye-bye, how they hospitality, how they welcome each other. This is how they relate. It's I just realized it.
Yeah, it is. But in the same time, wouldn't it be proper to say that spiritual culture would be hospitable?
Yeah, but there is a spiritual culture of the same culture is with mostly Europeans. It's gonna be one thing. Obviously, if the people grow up in India, it's different thing. Gonna be people grow up in probably where South America, it's gonna be different. So I'm thinking about it. It is because
so for me the social need to be positively engaged with society is not met. That's what I'm trying to say.
New culture or warmer?
Or warmer. It cannot be colder. No.
Yes.
So, but then it's
emotional.
enough to have one friend, because I do think that there is a psychology of mass psychology.
Culture? It's emotional connection of groups.
But that is mass psychology. So what I'm trying to understand now is that individual on individual level is always more intelligent than the mass,
right?
Because that's scientifically, socially proven fact. Social sciences, they say, like if you want to control somebody, you have to control the mass. You have to control the mass, because mass is easier to control. It's sheeps. So I'm thinking that even to be positively engaged with group sometimes still can take you out of individual, like more intelligent level.
Out of your intelligence?
Out of kind of your intelligence. To more like animalistic.
Because you have to match. Vibrate the same.
Yes. Because I was reading tarot yesterday, because I read tarot sometimes, and I pulled a card that is called Emperor. And this Emperor, he is saying that this archetype that is basically means that a person in the end has to become so mature that he doesn't really fit in a group, because to be an individual is a higher level of consciousness than to fit in a group. So when you are fitting in a group, you become this mass psychology thing, where your intelligence is kind of codependent
like a gradation, like first grade, second grade, third grade development of personality.
So personality development in a group means that you kind of trying to learn values. You are trying them on, you have this value, maybe I have this value, let me try it on. But later, when you already got it, when you already know who you are, you have to kind of rise above the group consciousness, the mass consciousness. So to be engaged, so what I'm trying to say, to be engaged positively, it doesn't mean to go and become a part of some sort of group
this is
thing.
Called Kanishta Adhikari, like
the group
level.
thing, everybody comes, nobody thinks, let's not think, let's not engage intelligence is bad because it can be negative and critical. Actually, criticism and critical thinking is necessary, because without critical thinking, group starts to be I'm sorry to say, stupid. So I believe that only to be positively engaged completely, you need another mature individual who is vibrating on the same vibration. Yeah. But in other, not in this group psychology way, in an actual personal way.
Yeah,
When
you become more
personalities,
personal.
a lot of personalities meet together, a lot of individuals meet together. They are not trying to change each other or make each
a
other
sign of
into
maturity.
some sort of, you be comfortable to me to be around,
Yeah, this
dress
is actually,
like this, think
it's
like this, talk
when
like
you,
this.
Little girl, you go to restrooms together with girlfriends
Yeah,
in school, but then you become mature enough to go yourself.
yeah, yeah,
But maybe you just change university and you don't have girlfriends yet.
yeah,
But you go to this university, to this unknown place, so you kind of graduating.
yeah. And you are
kinda-
being exposed to life without
Right.
fear of being rejected. Oh.
That's a different topic.
That's a different topic. Okay, so positive engagement. What else did we say? We had some ideas about positive engagement. You have to be positively engaged in your nature, because, for example, when I tried on my lower level, when I was part of the group, to engage myself positively,
Right.
I was copying a lot of things what other people were
You were
doing.
trying on.
I was
Let's say
trying
that
on
trying
another
on.
people's values to
Yeah.
see if it makes me positively engaged, and I honestly felt that I was
Wrong.
being positively engaged, but it wasn't natural. It took too much energy from me to be engaged in such a positive way,
Right.
which became depressive, because I was trying to do somebody else's values.
Right.
So if somebody is reading this kind of book 6 o'clock in the morning, I read this book 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm doing it, and I'm trying to believe, not necessarily believing that this is the right thing to do. And I did it, and I did it, and I did it, and I did it for some many years, and I became more miserable, more sick, because it wasn't my own values. And then I understood it's not my own value, and then I don't need to do it. I can do something else that is according to my value and my nature. And become more positive. And now
When
I'm
did
thinking,
you start doing it? So you kind of ask yourself, right?
Yeah.
Your soul.
my soul,
You check in with
I
your soul?
checked with my
or
soul.
with your body?
No,
The
both.
body tell you.
I think body tells after we don't listen to some other clues.
Yeah.
So body, if you are sick and
Come on.
physically weak, it means that you are not living by the truth. You're lying. Your life is a lie. Yeah. Oh
That's
no.
deep.
Yeah.
That's deep.
So to become an individual, basically to be actually positively engaged according to your nature, is become an individual. To really be yourself, to be really authentic, it is to be positively engaged by yourself as individual according to your nature. Is that the conclusion? That would be.
Yes.
Does it make sense?
And know your nature. So basically, what is this? Some ancient Greek philosopher said, the highest knowledge is knowing yourself. Because if you know yourself, you can positively engage.
Is it Socrates?
Socrates. Oh, I knew it.
Yeah. So that is, I think, our little podcast.
Know thyself.
You wanna...
Who said this?
Know thyself.
Know
Yes.
thyself. Who said this?
I don't know. You have to
Jesus said
ChatGPT.
this? Okay. Please subscribe.
It's no ChatGPT podcast, because
we don't look at ChatGPT. We look at our
real
hearts.
human connection needs to replace ChatGPT bot. So we are trying to figure it out intuitively together.
Yes.
And we talk, and we trying to bring the best out of each other.
Actually,
To
it
this
feels
podcast,
good
yeah?
and positive. right
Positive.
now.
And actually, even this podcast is
Because it's
our
live.
attempt to engage ourselves and our nature, to talk, to contemplate, to criticize, to have this critical thinking, to question, which
Right.
maybe mass psychology doesn't like questioning. Yeah. And then in this way be positively engaged. And I think the outcome is that we understood that we need to be positively engaged, which is amazing.
You know what? Yeah.
So here we stop, and we
Yeah.
can continue with something else next week. Actually, this week we're gonna have a little bit more depressive topic, but we will find ways and how we can go through experiences that are not so happy, with later on balancing it out with some positive
I know the
engagement.
positive out of next topic
Yeah. Okay.
is
Which?
which 3 children is easier to raise than 4.
Okay. Well done. Okay.
That's the first.
Thank you everybody for listening for our
Yeah,
little
thank you.
positive engagement topic. Thank
Yep.
you.